You know, it's cold outside, but there's nothing hotter than a Hemi in a dyno. And we're looking for 500 horsepower.
Nick's Garage is supported by Atlas Equipment and K-Tool International. This time of year, around Nick's Garage, the streets are covered in snow instead of burnt rubber. The sun comes up late and sets early, and all the muscle cars have been safely stashed away for the winter. But inside the shop, the heat is blasting, and the building season is in full swing. So knock the snow off your boots, help yourself to a cup of coffee, and settle in for some old-school power.
Hi, I'm Nick. Welcome to my shop. You know, it's the time of the year when the snow comes down, and here we have to install snow tires on our vehicles for the winter. Here's my brother's truck with a lot of tires. And it's one thing I hate, besides headers, is snow tires. And of course, you know, everybody knows I hate the cold weather in the winters. But anyways, let's get away from this. And now let's go into my shop. That's what really goes on. I've got a lot of beautiful cars here. I got engines, cars, Corvettes, Cobras, Dusters. Got a lot of little detailing to do and a lot of cars to put together. But my goal right now is I want to get some engines into the cars and get them delivered to my clients. So let's take a walk into the dyno room and I'll show you guys what I've got.
And here it is, Jim's 426 Hemi, the one that came to the shop with a dropped valve.
You know, we all know that all the street Hemis from 66 to 71 came with two Carter 4 barrels, just like my engine display. But, you know, then over the counter, or when you bought a crate engine from the 80s and the 90s, they came a lot of times with the 4 barrel intake manifold, like so. This intake manifold belongs to my shop. I just built this engine with the hydraulic roller camshaft, and I just wanted to get it running to make some tests with the 4 barrel. Keep it simple because I know this carburetor works, and there's no cam to break in, but it's a roller camshaft. And you know, I've never installed a hydraulic roller camshaft in a Hemi before. So I want to experiment. I'm going to start with the 4 barrel, make sure it goes good, because something very special is going to go on it. It's not going to be a 2 4 barrel inline Carter like a street Hemi, something unique, which we're going to get there in a minute. And this one here belongs to Jim, like I said, and this is the engine that dropped the valve inside the cylinder, which is cylinder number 1. If you guys take a look, there's a few pieces that part of the valve, if you can see that the head of the valve was missing. This valve used to look like this. It fell apart, broke apart, and went from one cylinder to another. If you guys go back, we made a video on this engine when we tore it down. The exhaust valve broke off, bounced around in the chamber, then went through the intake manifold, then did some more damages, like so on the other cylinders. You know, it went from one place to another, damaged 6 cylinders, 6 chambers. So we had the chambers cleaned up. We replaced all the valves. We boarded out 60 over with 8 new pistons. And now that we have it assembled on the dyno, I want to get it running, see how it goes. When the client brought it in, someone had a mechanical solid lifter cam, but we took it off and put something hydraulic roller to be maintenance free. And another thing, we wanted to keep it simple, run on pump gas, and of course, no maintenance on adjusting valve lashes with a mechanical camshaft, roller or flat tap it. Now my client wants about 450 to 500 horsepower. It's just a cruising engine, just to put in a car to cruise around, nothing special. He's not going racing with it. And just wants to have a Hemi. And of course, I don't know if he's putting manifolds or headers on it, but I've got headers in it so I could get it running for you guys to see what we're gonna do today with it.
A freshly rebuilt 1968 Hemi on the dyno with a big 4 barrel sounds like lots of fun. But once Nick has finished testing the mechanicals inside this engine, he has plans for more testing with a crazy intake system that the client wants to run when he puts it back in the car.
I was working on it last night. I wanted to make sure I had all the proper linkages to it. And of course, we had to make a gizmo to make it work on the dyno. So this is what we got here. This is a cross ram that existed on a Superstock Hemi in 1964. This was only for racing purposes only. This came from the factory with a magnesium intake manifold, but this intake came off over the counter from Opel Performance or direct connection. Came with 2 Holley carburetors, and I put it together temporarily so I could figure it out how we're going to install it on the engine, then get it running with the dyno linkage setup. So this is going to take me a while. So we're going to make another video. So we're going to make some tests with the 4-barrel. Then we're going to finish with the results on that. Then we're going to make another video after I install this setup. And is it going to make any difference in horsepower? What do you think? So make sure you guys are subscribed and stay tuned for the results of this here. So today we're going to test it with the 4-barrel and see how it goes. Okay, so I'm just about to get it started. I'm sure this carburetor is going to work fine. And I just want to mention that these valve covers do not belong to this engine. These are spare valve covers that I have in the shop. I've had his sent out to get wrinkle black finish restored. This should be in any day. But in the meantime, I put this on so I can get this engine running. For you folks to see how this thing runs. What do you say? Are you ready? Let's get it started. Okay. O2 sensor on. I got the timing right there. I gotta get it. It should start with no problem because this is a very simple setup. I put the distributor where I usually put it. Fuel pressure is there. I mean, the fuel has no leaks. Water's filled. Water line is on. I guess we're ready. And here we go. gotta advance it a little bit. Looking good, looking good. I got the timing set. Air fuel ratio is good. Oil pressure is good. So let's make a run. Test. You know, I've been playing with a lot of flat tappet cams, and this one here is the roller cam, and the spring pressure on the seat is about 145 pounds. And you see it, I noticed that I had the engine primed before I installed the engine on the dyno, and they seem to collapse the lifters with a spring pressure of 145. 125, no, but since it's a hydraulic roller cam, I have to add a few more pounds of spring pressure, which is like roughly 145, 150. But I noticed that the engine ticked when I got it started. Within a few seconds, it went away. That means oil pump, engine running with the oil pump working, pumping up the lifters, the noise went away. But you know what? I'm gonna look into that later on, but I just want to make a test. I want to make sure there's no noises, and I want to see the oil pressure hot on idle, which is very important to me. So like I said, I don't play too often with hydraulic roller camshafts, and in this case, these are retrofit hydraulic roller lifters for a Hemi, the older block, which is the second generation, and let's see how it goes. Here we go. Here we go. Blood pressure is 46 pounds, air feels good, water temperature, start. Here we go. I'm going to take it up to 5,000 RPM. know, you hear, you have the earmuffs. You want to hear the engine too. Okay, here we go. Oh, wow. We've got some good torque numbers. We got 500 at 4,300 RPMs. We got 510 foot-pounds of torque. And the horsepower at 5,000 is at 466 and still climbing. Let's see, the oil pressure is good. We're at 70 foot-pounds. Air-fuel ratio, it's kind of lean. I'm not crazy about that. You know what, I'm going to start changing jets now? No, because you know, I'm trying to check my engine mechanical. I'm not going to tune the carburetor to this engine. But at 14 point, you know what, I'm going to try something different. What do you say we put on the thumper card? Hey? Let's try the thumper card. We're going to put it on right away. Let's go. Why is it running lean? Did this come off? I don't think so. You know what? I'm going to try one of my favorites. Let's try the old thumper. Let's go. It won't take long. I'm not going to start taking apart the carburetor for jetting. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put on the thumper carb and we'll see how it goes from there. I need to richen it out. It's running way too lean, and you know, running lean is no good. But instead of me taking apart carburetors, putting jets in it, which I'm not going to stay with that carburetor with this engine, because we're going to go with the cross ram. All I want to do is just check the mechanicals, and just for fun, see where we can max out on the 4-barrel. So I'm going to put on the thumper carb, which has always worked for me. I'm just going to take a few minutes. I just hope everyone's richer, and we'll take it from there. Let's check for fuel leaks, put the fuel pump, and let's see how it goes. Check for fuel pump, full throttle. I think we got it. Okay, I think we're ready. Let's see how it works. Let me get the adjustments done on this. Check this out. Yeah. Ready? Watch. I think we're good. Let's go for it. Still seems to be running lean. Yeah, not good. Just let it run for a few minutes. We made a few more horsepower. It's running the same rail fuel ratio. It's high 13s, which I'm not crazy about. Get for leaks, all good. Look at that. You know what? Maybe I should richen it out. I'd like to see more power out of this thing, and plus I need to bring it to a higher RPM. So what do you say? We put bigger jets in this carburetor? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to increase the numbers on the jets. Let's see what we can give the 4-barrel and compared to the cross ram when we get it done. So let's put some jets. You know, I got up this morning, I left at 6:30 a.m. and before you know it, it's 10 below Celsius. 10 below Celsius this morning. Below zero. Is that cold or what? Anyways. And it's still dark. Imagine that, eh? Yeah, now we got him to keep me warm. It's all good. You know, you're better off running rich than lean, because lean makes the pistons go red hot. So, especially a wide open throttle. So let's make sure that we don't make tests with running it very lean. Okay, let's fill it up with fuel, see how it goes. Here we go. Check the fuel bowls are full. Have you got fuel? I think so. This one's got gas. This one's got gas. Let me start it, let it idle. Here we go. Let me check for fuel leaks. You know, I never realized how low the float level was in the back. I thought it was too high, but it seemed like it was very low. So I hope I didn't change the jets for anything, for nothing, I should say. But you know what? Let's take a test and see how it goes. Here we go. Wow, it's a bit too rich. I knew it. Okay. Horsepower, everything's all the same. That's funny. It's kind of a bit on the rich side, but I like to bring it to 12.9, 13.1. And our horsepower came in at 473 and still climbing at 5,000. And our torque is at 512, 513 at 4,000 RPM. I'm just going to lower it just a bit in the front. And we should be good. We should be good. Okay, let me play with the jets and make another test. Here we go. Yeah, you know, I thought it was full, but I noticed that not too much fuel came out when I drained it. And I thought it was above the glass, and I thought I was fooled there for a minute. Okay, I'm just going to bring down the jets a couple of numbers just in the front. I think we should be on the money. I went up 2 numbers here, and I went up 4 numbers there. So I'm going to, let's go. You know, it just shows you that the flow levels are perfect. You've been using the carburetor, and all of a sudden you put on the shelf for a few weeks, and before you know it, they have to be readjusted again. I wonder why. Anyways, doesn't matter. Let's get it going. Now I know my flow levels are perfect. All right, we're gonna take it to 5.5 since the air fuel ratio is okay there. All right, let's get it started. Let me see if there's any noises there. I'm going to shut it down before we do any testing because I just want to check the valve rocker's valve adjustment just to be sure. I hear a little clicky noise and it's hydraulic, should not make any noises, but I just want to check my clearances and let's take a few minutes on this. I want to thank one of our viewers that sent me this gadget that works perfect to remove spark plugs on a Hemi. All you have to do is crack and loose, and then from there, look at this, no sweat. There we go. You see what I mean? They bleed down. Look at this. That means the oil's not staying in the lifter. Well, you know what? I'll make the adjustment a little bit tighter, then we'll take it from there. This is an hydraulic cam, so I'm just making half a turn more than I did before, just to be sure. Go. So I had to do some little detail work. I noticed that we had to raise the flow level in the rear, and we increased the jets to get the correct air-fuel ratio. And now, because of the spring pressure 145 on hydraulic rollers, might be too much, I'm not sure. It seems that some of the lifters drained out. So what I did is I tightened up the lashes a bit on a few of them. And now when I get it started, let it idle, let's check the oil pressure, and see if the noises is gone, okay? Okay. They've quieted down right now. So air fuel ratio is going to be good, I'm sure. So let's make a test. Take it to 5,500 RPMs and see how it goes. Let's just make sure that's what I've got. Okay. Let's check our 5532. I guess we're ready. Here we go. Okay, Still running a bit on the rich side. Want to simmer down the jets a bit. Oh, we hit our 500 horsepower number. 502 at 5,500 RPM. Okay, so now I'm going to jet it down a bit, and then we're going to make another test after that. And I think it should be good. Okay, here we go. Let's do it. I didn't hear no clicking noises, so I think the lifter should be okay now. We're running out of fuel, so I'm just gonna put what we have. Okay, that's all we got left. Let's do the best we can. I should have the correct jetting. I'm gonna check the floats one more time, and I think the air-fuel ratio should be perfect. Watch this. I'm gonna put the fuel pump on. Look at the fuel get up over here. There we go, that's just perfect. Just like in the front. Now the flow bowl should be right where the glass is halfway. I was fooled before, I thought it was too full, but I brought it down too much and then I had to bring it back up. Now we got the correct jetting, I think we should be perfect. Okay, let's get it going. Okay, here we go. We hit the goal of 500 plus horsepower, but the torque is stuck at 512 at 42, 4300. But I need to bring the RPM much higher, so we're gonna go higher. I think we're good. The oil pressure is good. Let's check the air-fuel ratio. Again now, we're running a bit on the lean side. Damn. I'm gonna have to richen the jets a bit now. 13.4, 13.5, 13.6 ratio. Okay, I'm just gonna richen it a bit. I'm gonna work with the rear jetting, just one number, and that's it. I think we should be on the money. Okay, here we go. One more time. After all, we are not gonna run this engine with a customer. I mean, my customer's not gonna run this engine with this carburetor. I'm just trying to tune it, make sure the oil pressure is good. Hey, at the same time, let's look for oil leaks. I want to see the rockers don't make any noises if they're adjusted perfect. Let's just richen it out a little bit and let's take it from there. You know, I'm working with a full barrel right now. It's because I want to set the timing. I want to check the valve lash, of course, with hydraulic rollers because there is no lash. I want to make sure they're properly adjusted. I want to check my oil pressure on idle, hot. Because this is a roller cam, I'm not too very familiar with the roller cam on a Hemi because it bleeds off as I primed the engine when I did the engine assembly. It bleeds off a lot on the side of the lifters, and I want to make sure that we have no loss of oil pressure there. And of course, it won't fill the lifters with oil, so they're going to have a zero lash when the engine's running. So that is the reason why I'm using the full barrel. Then when all that is good, then we're going to go to the cross ramp and then really see the difference, what that will make compared to the full barrel. I think I'm ready. Let's go. Here we go. gotta go higher. Check the air fuel ratio. 12.5, 12.4. I'm just gonna leave it there. Seems good enough. I'm not gonna play with it. 12.4, 12.5, full wide open throttle. But my goal right now, I need to bring it to a higher RPM. I'm gonna take it at 58. How do you think? Let's go. 5,800 RPM, here we go. Now we got factory connector rods in this engine. Factory connector rods with a hydraulic roller cam, and we're gonna go to 5,800 RPMs. Here we go, 32. We're gonna start at 32, take it at 58. At 300 RPMs per second. I think we're ready. Here we go. I believe this is gonna be the last test. Even though it's running a little bit on the rich side, I'm leaving it because, like I said, I'm tuning the engine for 4-barrel, which is not gonna end up with a 4-barrel, it's gonna end up with a cross ram. The cross ram, we're gonna fight until we get the perfect air-fuel ratio. Right now, let's check the valve assembly and, of course, oil leaks, and especially the rear seal. After all, this is an old block. And here we go. Okay, let's go check the oil leak. Let's go. Not bad. Now let me listen to the lockers. So far so good. Sounds good to me. That's what I wanted. Oil pressure. See the oil pressure? 22 pounds. On idle. Okay, look at this now. We got 22 pounds of oil pressure right here in the red. This is what I wanted to see. Let me rev it up a little bit. Yeah, see, we get 40 pounds easily when you rev it up. Bring down the idle. There we go. Lots of oil pressure. So I'm gonna have to look into that. Okay, so you see, I got like a 22, 23 pounds of oil pressure on idle. I'm not crazy about that, so I'm gonna look into it. I'm sure it's a bleed off on the side of the lifters. I gotta look into it. And at the same time, you guys, we're gonna plan to make another video with the cross ram. But in the meantime, let me fix this. Let me make sure it goes well. And as you guys notice, there's no oil leak whatsoever on this block, on the rear seal. So you guys, thanks for watching us. Stay tuned for the next video on this engine with the cross ram. And thanks for watching us here on Nick's Garage.
Thanks for watching Nick's Garage. Please make sure you're subscribed so that you don't miss any of the action, including this crazy cross ram racing setup on the Hemi on Nick's Dyno.
And you guys, if you look down below the video, we have a whole bunch of merchandise that you guys can buy. So whatever you like, buy it, love it, wear it, and enjoy it. And help spread the word of Nick's Garage. And if you have some time, check out our Patreon page. We have extra content and you guys can watch it and take it from there. And we'll see you next time.